Welcome back, Waltham High, to another episode of News Now. I'm Mackenzie Babstock.
And I'm Jessie Lombardi. Don't forget this week is Spirit Week. Monday was Culture Day, today is Boston Sports Day, Wednesday is Color Day, Thursday Pajama Day, and Friday Red and White Day. Also, we'll have our annual pep rally that will be held H Block on Friday.
If you haven't heard yet, Waltham High School is relocating and rebuilding. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, I'm going to be going around asking some teachers some questions about the new high school that we're hearing a lot of rumors about. When do you think the new school is expected to be built by?
Well, last I heard it was going to be done by 2020, and then I heard an update that 2021.
I haven't heard the latest, but I know they're shooting for 2020. And I'm not sure if they figured out a location. I do have a preference for a location. I think the Fernald grounds would be great. It would be a very sophisticated high school campus, and I think there's a lot more possibilities there, a lot more space. But I would really rather it be somewhere else than where it currently is, because I don't feel there's enough room here.
What are you most excited about for the new school?
I think having a new school in general, this school is old. It's starting to show its age. Even though the custodians do a great job keeping it clean and keeping it working, I think the new school will have a lot of new technology built into it, and it'll be a great place to teach and learn.
The Olympic-sized swimming pool? No? I am excited to just have the aesthetics being more up to date. I think everyone can agree that this school is a little dated, right? You could probably place it in the 1970s easily. A new school, more fresh air, kind of airy lighting aesthetics might, I guess, maybe increase school spirit and excitement, and it could generate some goodwill within the school, I guess.
Oh, there's a lot of things to be excited about. I would say there's going to be a lot of open spaces where people aren't so compartmentalized and away from each other, which I think will bring more unity. It will bring more discussion, hopefully across disciplines. I believe that the technology is going to be very much upgraded, which we sorely need, and hopefully a good air conditioning and heating system.
What should the new students be ready for?
Well, the new school, we're moving toward project-based learning, so I think they're going to have to be ready to do a lot of projects.
Hey guys, I just want to thank all the teachers that spent the time to get interviewed, and now I'm here in the superintendent's office, here with the superintendent, Dr. Eccleston. Thank you.
Ryan, for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So, can you discuss the new features that the new building will have?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think one of the things that Mayor McCarthy always reminds us is that this isn't a building project, it's an education plan for the children of Waltham for the next 50 to 100 years. And so we want to make sure that any investments we make in terms of a new building really prioritize the importance of a high quality education and new educational opportunities for all of Waltham high school students. And so you can see in this visual, we built the education plan with input from students, input from teacher leaders, and input from sort of central office administrators as well as city officials around 4 academic clusters. So fine and performing arts, you know that we have a really strong fine and performing arts set of programming here in Waltham. We want to prioritize that and continue to elevate it. Humanities, which is a sort of English, history, social studies, and integration of those approaches. STEM, so it's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and health and wellness. And I think one of the real reasons that we need an additional high school is probably twofold. One, I think particularly some of our STEM labs are not adequate for, I think, high quality 21st century investigation and laboratory sciences, but also our CVTE programs are not well integrated. The school was not designed for career vocational technical education, and that those programs are disproportionately in the basement of the school and aren't particularly well integrated into the academic content. And so within this structure of a new school, you can see that each wing is built around an academic cluster that I've named here. But there's also in orange the different CVTE programs, so those programs are having more integration than they've ever had in the past, and there's adjacencies between the academic content and the CVTE program. So this will mean new programming for students that we've never had: computer science, robotics, green and renewable technologies, cybersecurity programs that we think will be really interesting to students and prepare them for the 21st century.
What should the students and faculty be most excited about for the new high school?
Well, I mean, I think we're trying to offer new things that we think will be really exciting for students, and so I think that the thing that people should be most excited about is the education plan, which I think will offer a more rigorous, more robust educational opportunities for students. Some of the features of the school that I think are pretty cool is when you enter into the building, there's going to be a large dining commons area that's going to be both for cafeteria, but also for students to use in informal ways for meetings and to do schoolwork. And overlooking that dining commons will be the new learning commons, or the school library, which I think is going to be a pretty impressive space. And then I think in terms of its sort of impact on students, there are three areas that we're considering for a new school. The first is the Fernald option, which is a plot of land. It's about 150 acres that the mayor purchased from the state, and 50 acres of that would be determined for the school, as well as an add renovation of the current high school and a construction site that's sort of where the parking lot is of Waltham High School, and the current building would then be demolished and become a new parking lot for the school.
When do you expect the new high school to be built by?
We're being pretty aggressive in our timeline here. I think fall of 2020, fall of 2021 seems like a pretty reasonable timeline by which this new project would be finished and new students would enter into the building.
The high school looks like a great opportunity for students, and just all the new stuff looks very interesting. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and glad you guys had some questions about this. So thank you.
I can't wait to see a new high school. It's going to be much more of an improvement than what we have right now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, guys. Don't forget the football team is playing Newton South at their homecoming game Saturday.
The Hawks Nest just had recently opened for business. Mackenzie and Courtney got to check out. Let's see how it went.
We're here reporting at the Hawks Nest in the Waltham High School cafeteria, where we caught up with Mr. McGuire and other students to get their intake on favorite items and new initiatives for the school year.
What's your favorite product in the Hawks Nest?
My favorite product in the Hawks Nest is definitely the visors.
My favorite product in the Hawks Nest is the Superfan shirt because it gets you in the football games for cheaper.
My favorite product in the Hawks Nest is probably the Superfan shirts because all the Superfans wear them to the games, and I think it's a good way to bring in school spirit.
I'd have to say the Superfan shirts because it brings school spirit towards the school.
How do you think the Hawks Nest affects the school?
I think that it can give people an opportunity to have good school spirit.
I think it's really convenient, and it's a really good way to make money and for people to buy a lot of Waltham apparel during school.
It's a good idea because it's not open during school. It's only open during like the lunches. So it's good because it promotes our school.
It was great getting to see everyone's opinion on the Hawks Nest. Don't forget to buy your Superfan shirt today. Back to you guys in the studio.
The football team is preparing for homecoming this weekend. We caught up with Coach Borg to discuss his role as head football coach here at Waltham High. Jonathan's here to fill us in.
Well, I think to be a successful high school coach, you have to basically do the same things that you expect of your players, and that's be kind of committed to what you're doing. There's a lot of dedication to it. For me, it's a year-round thing. I have coaches coming in the off-season, recruiting our players, both seniors who are moving on and juniors who are prospect players for the next level. So that takes up my spring and my winter. Outside of that, we have gridiron meetings and whatnot that I am a part of, organizing fundraisers and whatnot, planning the year for the upcoming season. That happens in the off season as well. So again, there's a lot of time, a commitment, and just a lot of hard work that's involved in it. And I think to be successful, you need to be organized to some degree. You have to be able to be a pretty good communicator. Sometimes those aren't my strengths, but we work on that, and and then try and be a motivator, not only for your staff, but for the players and the team, and just kind of lead by example, I guess is kind of to wrap it up. I would say lead by example. And game preparation is time consuming. We put in as coaches, at least myself and the offensive coordinator, me being a defensive coordinator, probably about 6 hours within the course of the 4 days, kind of on our own time, breaking down our last game, seeing what we did well and not so well, giving the feedback to the kids, making sure we develop drills that are going to improve our weaknesses, as well as drills that are going to make us even better, things that we do well. So outside of that, we have to break down the film of the team that we're going to see our next game, prepare our practice scripts and whatnot, which consist of folders such as this for our show team to make sure they know what they're doing, because they're going to represent the team that we're playing. So there's a lot that goes into it, and again, being at practice, making sure everyone's on time, making sure everyone's motivated, making sure everyone's on the same page as in terms of the expectations, coaches included, and just kind of following through. So it's a scheduling a practice every day. Certain days we have heavy offensive days, other days we have heavy defensive days. So we have to be organized in terms of what that looks like, and we stick with a pretty good timeline throughout the 2.5 hours that we have to be efficient with what we're doing. But it's involved, but it's a lot of fun. It's a kind of a labor of love, if you will. So we love doing it. This season, I think we have a great senior group. I think we have juniors who is a great supporting cast. Athletically, I think we're pretty good. So my expectations this year and our goals are not so much what we can accomplish, but in terms of we're focusing on how we want to present as a team, and what does that look like? What do we want to look like as a team? Do we want to be disciplined? Do we want to be aggressive and excited on the field? And I think if we focus on those things, the wins and the successes will come. So thus far, we've been doing that. Ideally, we'd like, obviously, to make the tournament. We have yet to win a league championship. So, I mean, those may be some goals for us this year, but I think we're on a week-to-week basis, and I think we're going to try and focus on the things we can control, and that's our excitement and our aggressiveness and our discipline and whatnot. And I think if we do that, our successes will come.
Thank you, Coach.
The first Mayoral Youth Summit will take place on Saturday, October 29th. The summit is entitled Amplify to elevate student voice and leadership for a stronger Waltham. This event includes guest speakers, breakout sessions, and lunch will be provided. If you are interested in attending, speak with your housemaster. This registration closes October 24th.
NHS is a great way to help out the school and improve the community. Lauren caught up with Miss Green to learn more about it.
Baby, this is what you came for. Lightning.
Welcome back to BTV. This week, Matt, John, and I put together a video about Student Council. We asked Miss Green some questions about it. Are there any new events this school year?
We're not planning any new events right now, but we are in process of planning our fall events. So right now we're setting up the homecoming parade, homecoming events, the dance, and the pep rally. So we're working on that right now, and almost as soon as that's over, we're going to start to work on Student Santa. As far as new events coming up, there's some possibilities of new charitable events that we might be considering after the winter. So yeah.
What do you do to get into Student Council?
So students get nominated by their peers. We usually have about a 2-week period where they're getting signatures from their classmates, and then they turn those in, and then they have a speech that they give. We play the speeches in history classes, and then students then in turn vote for those candidates, and that's how you get into Student Council for that.
Are there any benefits with Student Council, like for college or anything like that?
Yeah, there's definitely benefits. Obviously, probably the best benefit is that you're working to promote community engagement here at Waltham High School. We're also reaching out to the larger community of Waltham. So for example, if we go back to the idea of the homecoming parade, we hope that the whole community comes out. Same thing with Spring Fest in the spring. We would love to have people in the community come, not just students at Waltham High School. But obviously there's benefits on a college transcript for you participating in student council and taking on a leadership position. So yeah, there's all kinds of benefits.
Wow, thank you, Ms. Greens. That was really informative. Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, that's all we have for today, Waltham High. I'm Mackenzie Babstock.
And I'm Jessie Lombardi. Have a good day.
Go Hawks.